All right. 64? 60. Shit.
Oh my God, we are pushing through them.
Well, we did 2 episodes last week. Let me see here.
Dex, are you gonna tweet it so I can tweet it?
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet the Twitch.
63. All right. We get to go. I'll just go ahead and start. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 64, late night Wednesday edition. Huge episode because it is a great movie. We're actually doing good movies, folks. How about that?
Yes.
We are doing The Gladiator, a movie that Teej swears is the best sports film ever made.
Facts.
Okay.
Also, the best film ever made. Period.
That's
This
not
is the
true.
greatest movie.
We were just talking about this before Dex came on. That is not true. There is a lot of things wrong with this movie. Let me get this out of the way. It's fantastic. There are holes as big as the crumbling holes in the actual Coliseum right now in this movie. That was a long analogy to say there are plot holes in this movie. But Dex, how you doing? You never seen this before.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie. I've heard reference to it my entire life. Basically, it came out when I was 5 years old. That's wild. But
Yeah, I guess
That's
I was
wild.
6 too. Shit.
yeah, but I've never seen it before right now, and I watched it in a very strange way. I watched half of it at work while I was supposed to be doing my job, and I wasn't. And then
We're not. Nobody's gonna tell on you here. And nobody tells you
who
secret.
cares? Nobody listens to this podcast. It's fine. And then I watched the second half at 1.25 speed so I could catch up and start this podcast on time. So a very weird experience, but the movie was dope as hell. Man, we'll get into that shit. But
Watching those fights at 1.25 speed had to be fucking mind blowing.
listening to Joaquin Phoenix get punched at 1.25 speed was hilarious because it's like a thwack noise, like they do regular fight scenes, but it's like they're all dressed up in Roman shit. It's like, did punches sound like that back in the day? Were they doing the Batman comic book punches back in the Roman times? I don't know.
I bet punches sound the exact same. If I had to guess. Teej, how we doing, man?
Things are good, man. I'm glad that we're finally doing this movie. I watched this movie. I rewatched it yesterday, but I had brought it up to y'all because I watched it probably 3 weeks ago, and I watch it pretty much every year. I'm obsessed with this movie. I just love every second of it. It's also a dad film to me because my dad is obsessed with the film. So he was the one who really put me onto it because when did this movie come out? 2000? Yeah. So I would have been 14. So I was in the age where I could have saw it in theaters, but I didn't see it in theaters. But my dad quickly showed it to me, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. So I love this movie.
I remember my parents renting this on DVD, and I couldn't come downstairs because it was a rated R movie.
Wow.
That's how old this movie is. How do you feel about that? They're like, close the doors. There's blood and shit in this movie. No, so this let's just get right into it. Gladiator 2000, like we were saying, is rated R. 2 hours and 35 minutes long. We'll talk about that here in a second. A former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against a corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. Directed by Ridley Scott, written by David Franzoni. Also, there's another writing credit on here. Sorry. John Logan and William Nicholson as well. It stars Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, Connie Nielsen, Oliver Reed, Richard Harris for 2 minutes, Jaimin Hansu.
I always forgot to say his name, but he's the guy from Blood Diamond.
Yes. And a host of other British character actors that you have seen in things before. This is rated the number 40 movie of all time on IMDb. It won 5 Oscars. Russell Crowe for Best Actor, Best Costume Design. It won Best Picture. That's the big one.
Wild to me.
Best Sound. It wasn't a great year for the Oscars, if we're being honest. Best sound, best effects, visual effects. It was nominated for Joaquin Phoenix for best supporting role, best director Ridley Scott, best writing, screenplay, original screenplay, best cinematography, best film editing, best. This was that movie at the Oscars. Best original score, Hans Zimmer, which R.I.P. to my. He's not dead, but like he just never wins. How's that even possible? Best art direction and set direction. This score sounds a lot like the Pirates of the Caribbean score, by the way.
Oh, that makes sense.
So this is the year that Benicio del Toro won for Traffic. You know, this was. Let's see what this was. Castaway. Like there just wasn't great. You know, like
the other Best Picture nominees were Chocolat,
yes.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Aaron Brockovich, and Traffic.
Mm-hmm. So not great.
Yeah, I mean,
best film one.
I mean, I love Castaway, but I mean, it's the most entertaining film out of all of these for sure. So yeah, this has surprising reviews though. Teej and I were talking about it, and he was getting very upset offline. Has a 67 Metascore. Also, I should note this was a hit. This was a very big rated R hit. It cost a lot of money to make, $103 million to make. Of course, they shot on location on a lot of these things, but it made $465 million worldwide. Of course, Russell Crowe was a huge star at this point. This has, sorry, let me go back to it. Here it is. Has a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes critic score and an 87% audience score. Ridley Scott and an excellent cast successfully convey the intensity of Roman gladiatorial combat as well as the political intrigue brewing beneath. And I have to agree with one of those things, and the other thing, not at all. The politics in this movie are garbage. But Teej, you love this movie. This is your pick. Start us out.
This film was an A+. I don't care about the perceived flaws in this film, and it does have flaws. This film is an A+. This film, from start to finish, you literally start in a battle. People are dying everywhere. It looks amazing. And Russell Crowe's performance in this film is so stoic, strong, silent type. He plays it to perfection. This is the Russell Crowe movie. He's been a couple bangers. This is the Russell Crowe movie. This movie is incredible. It's just such a ride, and seeing kind of that rags to riches story. Oh, technically it's like a riches to rags, back to riches story. Seeing him
not
progress
really
through this.
He dies.
Well, not really because he dies. But before he dies, he gets the fame back. And some parts of this movie don't work. The politics of this movie are awful. The incest part of this movie, while I'm sure it's historically accurate, is just cringe. It was cringeworthy at the time. It's even more cringeworthy now. But Game of Thrones happened, and it ain't like that happened 20 years ago. We let that shit ride for Game of Thrones. So I'm not going to be too harsh on the incest storyline here. The part where like he's in the cage and the kid walks up to him, and the kid who happens to be the son of the new king is talking to him, and this kid has no idea who he is. Like, it just feels like if he's this big of a war general at these times where people actually really cared about war and were obsessed with war tactics, that everybody would know who he is. So him being able to be like all of a sudden a slave and to not tell people who he is and to no one who know who he is just seems weird. And they try to move him into different locations so that you can kind of account for, like, when he first goes to be a gladiator, he's not in what are we in Rome? He's not in whatever. Yeah, he's not in Rome anymore. And they try to do that part so you can be like, oh, okay, maybe they wouldn't know his face here, which maybe that could be true. But that part of the movie just generally doesn't work. But just watching him and the rest of the guys on this ragtag team go to the Super Bowl and win it all is so much fun to watch. This film is an A+. This film, I love this film.
We're gonna poke so many holes, or I am, honestly, but I think they kind of write it off by being like, he kind of rose up through the ranks while they were on the war front, and that they say explicitly he's never been to Rome. He's just been fighting for this.
Yeah, he's just been fighting for Rome, but has never been there.
Never been. So it's just, I think that's probably why people may not know who he is. But even then, so like, yeah, your generals are celebrated. Like they'd have ballads to you, like that where they would write on parchment and send via I have no idea, but like,
yeah, but they're not drawing your picture on the parchment. Like, they're not like, this is what Maximus looks like. He's out here killing all the Africans. It's great, guys. Thanks.
All these poor Germans walling in the mud. They're just like, we got clean water, bitches. Come die. Anyway, Dex, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was hella long. And they were doing a lot, it just happens. They had to go through this whole setup and descent and all this other bullshit. So like, yeah, they had a lot of ground to cover. It didn't like drag like other long movies do, partially because I had it at 1.25 speed for the second half of it. But
watching this movie like a podcast,
all right, guys, let's speed it up a little bit. No pauses. But yeah, it was dope. The fight scenes obviously were incredible. And it's like gory and bloody, but not too much. Like they leave a little bit to the imagination, which I appreciated. You still get to see people like split in half, but it's not like just like they don't linger on it too long. So me not loving violence, I appreciated that. And then obviously Russell Crowe just fucking killed it. Russell Crowe I didn't know he was that fucking cool because I had never seen this movie before.
Oh my god!
So to me, Russell Crowe was the dude who was like singing all key in Les Mis.
That's disappointing. I will say that. That's very like I knew Russell Crowe from even other shit before like Les Mis. Like that.
If you know him from Les Mis and ruining American Gangster, then that's not a good.
Oh yeah,
good on him.
American
Cinderella
Gangster.
Man.
God, that dude. Oh, American Gangster.
That whole Russell Crowe storyline, American Gangster, is the worst part of it. Like, we just want to hang out with Denzel. We don't want to hang out with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I'm just here for Denzel bars and like smashing people in pianos and shit. When it comes to American Gangster, Russell Crowe was completely forgettable in that shit. But yeah, he was dope as hell in this movie. And I obviously every single time that he was in a fight, I was like, "Fuck him up, Maximus. Let's fucking go."
When the king makes him makes him take off his helmet and he has to identify himself. It gives me chills every time. I've seen this movie 100 times.
I will have my revenge takes off the helmet for the next.
That is the greatest shit I've ever seen on a TV screen. That shit gets me hyped every time, like watching the Rockets win a championship. That's shit is the greatest shit of all.
That's like wrestling promo for when they show this on cable. My name is Max.
It really is.
Yeah, but
leaders of the armies of the North.
Father to the
fire.
son.
Husband to a murdered wife, bro.
And I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
That shit chills down my spine.
He's just like
the look on his face.
It's like the next fighter in a prize fight just saw somebody kill a man in the ring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, I gotta fight him next.
Yeah, man. Like, and Joaquin Phoenix, like his performance was good. His character was creepy as hell. That was the point. I was very uncomfortable every time he was on screen trying to fuck his sister. Like, just extremely wild. Him like knowing everything all the time, I was like, this is kind of stupid. Like, he doesn't seem like the brightest bulb just talking to him, but he knows everything. They at the beginning they play him like he's Fredo and just an idiot, and then like by the end he
immediately knows their plot.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I buy all of that, but Joaquin Phoenix is just so perfectly creepy and smarmy and gross and weird that you're just like, he's a good villain. And I was watching and I was like, there's no way this dude like played Johnny Cash immediately after this. That's Johnny like Cash and the Joker.
Yeah, 2 years later, he was filming for being Johnny Cash.
Yeah, like completely out of left field. But yeah, like the rest of whenever somebody other than those two is talking, the movie is not nearly as good, obviously. But fortunately, those times are few and far between, and I'd still give it like an A-.
Didn't that kid become somebody? The kid who plays the King's son, didn't he become
he's consistently acted since then, so it's like he's never had really like a huge role, like he's consistently found work after. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was in Mystic River.
Oh my god, he is in Mystic River. I love Mystic River, brother.
Yeah. and he's in a TNT series called Animal Kingdom, which okay. But yeah, he's found work after. But the yeah, I'm right there with you there. I on a normal like year where I'm not watching this critically, if I'm just first of all, we always say this on the show, TNT, AMC, FX, banger, USA banger. This shit is on cable all the time. When they need to fill a 4-hour block, this thing is on. And that's how I've mostly watched this movie throughout my life, is just in pieces throughout cable. And so really within the past couple of, like, I watched it a few months ago and then got back into it. And yeah, watching it in whole really, I mean, watching it in pieces on cable doesn't do this movie justice. Who would have thought? But yeah, I just think also way more brutal.
They edited it. They edit some of the violence when you watch it on cable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, actually. Like that woman getting split in half, people getting their heads chopped off.
The kid hanging, or is it the wife hanging? Yeah.
There is, I mean, it's a A-. This movie starts out at a 10. It comes in waves. I will say my main complaint is that Ridley Scott would have made a 5-hour movie if he had the chance. This movie jerks itself off for about like a good 45 to 30 minutes, or 30 to 45 minutes, with all of the politics and them talking about it, where it doesn't even matter in the very end, honestly.
No,
it just really doesn't, because he just dies. So it just doesn't, like, both dudes die. So it doesn't really even.
They're just like, yeah, send it. Let's go.
Yeah, woo. Yeah. And there's no, and then it just ends. That's the problem I kind of have with it, is like, oh, we have this kind of interesting fight scene at the very end, which also Joaquin Phoenix goes out so sad. There's never
why does he go down? It doesn't make, he makes so many bad decisions, but you gonna fight this dude? Like, I understand, like, you gave him a little prick and he's like poisoned, but why not just, he had 20 chances to kill this dude and he doesn't kill him, and now you're dead, and now you don't get to sleep with your sister, even though you were trying to rape her for half the movie. Like,
got
went out
washed.
very sad.
Just
completely washed.
Like, shut out, no hitter.
He went out like Gonzaga, bro. It was sad to watch.
He went out like Ben Askren, dude. He got nailed. And, like, the flying knee to the face. He didn't even get a shot in besides that dude, besides him stabbing him in the ribs. And that was the only thing too, because he gets rid of his sword. Maximus is dying, drops his sword, and he still gets his ass beat.
Still whooped his ass.
Yeah, but barehanded. And then he stabs the Emperor of Rome in the throat. The
literal Emperor of Rome in front of thousands of people.
Thousands of people, and no one does anything. They're just like,
everybody's like, nah, we good. You got it.
They're all just like, oh, that sucks.
Damn, that's crazy. So
damn, we don't have no emperor right now. We don't have no emperor no more. That's crazy.
It's just like, wow, bro. It's the Kobe White thing where he's just like, wow, nothing happened. And
could you imagine if Trump challenged somebody to a one-on-one fight and Trump literally was murdered in this fight and we were all watching, and Secret Service just sat there like, damn, Trump is dead. Like, that's crazy.
He's like, throw me a gun, and Secret Service is like, nah.
I'm good.
Nah, bro, you getting your ass whooped. We ain't doing shit.
Also the change of heart by his guard and the guys in the Senate, like, last second, is really stupid, where he's just like, throw me a sword, and he goes, no.
That moment doesn't need to be in there.
No. And I was cracking up just a few minutes ago when I was finishing this movie, because I had forgot how quickly that last fight ends. Like, you think it's going to be this kind of big thing, and then it just is like 5 seconds, which would happen because he's obviously just whooping, like,
he's fighting a regular person.
Yeah, he's fighting tigers and like actual gladiators and shit. And then this dude comes in there and is like, I got it. No,
you don't.
Yeah. So that cracked me up at the very end. He just kill, and the crowd goes silent, and they're just kind of like, oh, we just don't have a ruler anymore.
They really messed up the stakes because, like you said, he had to get through so much shit to get to this final boss fight, but the boss was nothing. So what they should have done is had the emperor send all this stuff at him. He defeats all these people, him and the squad, and then literally he takes a spear and he's dying from his knees and throws a spear into the open area where the emperor is literally sitting and just throws a spear through his neck. Boom. End of movie. They don't have to actually fight.
There was, well, here's the thing. I think there was an ending that I read in the trivia portions of the Proximo, the white man who's wearing brown face in this movie.
Cringe. Not great.
Yeah,
not
great. He's a British man playing an Egyptian and he is the man Proximo, who was actually, I thought he was really good in this movie as well too. I think he added another kind of character, the guy that buys him out of slavery. If you're unfamiliar, there was supposed to be, because he's a former gladiator, that they fight at the very end. That Commodus makes them fight at the very end because they form this sort of bond, and he makes them fight in the arena afterwards. But kind of interesting, he died before this movie was finished filming. He died the actor. He died in 99. Yeah, he drank himself to death and had a heart attack.
Jesus.
So he died before the movie was finished. So his final sort of scenes that you see are body doubles and CGI.
Wow.
Yeah. So they kind of wrap him up in a way that made sense actually for the movie, but then you're kind of left with this last thing, like, what do we do here? And so they kind of fight. But even then, the fight isn't good enough to justify the ending.
That was the easiest guy that he fought the entire film.
The entire movie.
Literally did it like on one leg.
Yeah.
On one leg with a wound in his side. Like,
yeah.
I was still just sunning this man in the middle of the ring in front of every fucking body. I was like,
and they were obviously aware of it. That's why they had him get stabbed with the poison. Like, that's what they're trying to. But even then, it's like, at least make the fight equal. If he gets stabbed with the poison, let the emperor get some shots in. But the emperor just got completely washed. Like, he had no chance.
He got kneed in the face. You know how like bad you gotta be to take a knee in the face when you have swords? You're just like
you literally have swords and you got a knee to the face.
Good God, man. I mean,
if Ben Askren had a sword, he would not have been kneed in the face. No.
Nah, he probably would have. Ben Askren is so fucking washed at this point, bro. Ben Askren got to go home and be a family man, dog. Like, you and your wife.
You can't lose.
You never need to hear from him again. You lose to Jake Paul. I don't want to hear from you again.
You can't be the fastest knockout in UFC history and lose to Jake Paul. You can only pick one of those things to be true about you.
Both those are on your resume. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
That is on your Wikipedia page.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, I just think the politics in this movie, like, it drives the plot forward. Like, it gives them a kind of like a reason, like, to have the movie, basically, other than we're just gonna have dudes fight. Like, okay, that would have been cool. And the fight scenes are the best part of this movie, but they're too spread out between fight scenes. I think there's like 4 or 5. There's a big, huge set piece at the very beginning. There's a long pause before he even gets back into the arena.
Yep.
Of course, he had the dramatic moment that I thought he sold really good. I give it an A- just so we can kind of start getting better into the reviews. But there's a big, long pause where he goes and his family is murdered, which I thought was very emotional. I thought that was the best. Like, he couldn't produce tears, but the snot and shit coming out of Russell Crowe's like face is literally like the most like emotional I think I've seen anybody cry on screen. Like, that was incredible.
That's the scene that won him Best Actor, by the way. That is the scene. It's not the fight scenes. Those are just entertaining for the crowd. But that scene and the scene at the end where he has to die is like those are what we're like. Now we're talking about an action star in a blockbuster to, oh shit, we're gonna nominate this guy for Best Actor. Like, that's the scene.
Yeah, I also wrote down like when he discovered his wife and his kid. I was like, man, the dangling feet for somebody who got hung gets me every single time.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. It works every time, bro. It's so fucking sad. And like, A Star Is Born, like, he's fucking dangling.
That's like, an incredible movie trick that they do. That you just like, oh, you just immediately know what happened. But
It's
apparently
like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, they were
It's so
crucifying
shocking
us.
every time, man. It like every time it's so shocking just to see feet dangling. It's just super shocking.
Your feet aren't supposed to be up that high.
Yeah, especially
That's
not
basically
at
what
eye
your
level with
brain
the person
does.
on the ground. Like what the.
Well, when I'll tell you what's even more shocking, when his son gets run over and they show you his son get hit by the horse,
Yep.
startling.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa! Like every single time. I don't know why. It's just shocking. But yeah, the opening set piece is incredible. I think Ridley Scott. What works in this film, unfortunately, hasn't worked in some of his later films. And you can kind of see the seams, and that we say this like we said it with Inception and stuff too. The seams of this movie, where it's like stuff like, what was the movie that he did? I mean, he did the bad Moses movie, but
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Gods and Kings.
Yep.
But holy crap! Sorry, somebody's screaming at their car speaker right now. Oh, Kingdom of Heaven, and of course Robin Hood. Some of the things that you see in this movie, he's taken on to other films, these huge sweeping epics that he likes to make that aren't these sci-fi things that he likes to make, because he does sci-fi and he does sweeping epics.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to biblical times, or he's gonna go do sci-fi. That's what he's gonna do.
But he's done it. The first time he did it, it's probably not the first time he did it, but the biggest time that he did it was Gladiator, and it was the best. And ever since then, it hasn't been as good.
Yeah, I wrote down that like this movie is incredible at like showing how big shit is. Like the Coliseum looks big as hell.
Well,
Every time they show a battle scene, it looks like the war at the beginning looks big as hell. Like Rome looks big as hell. It's just really good at showing off that kind of like scale.
yeah. Also, there's not a ton of CGI in this movie. Like, of course, the first battle isn't CGI at all. It's just back when they had thousands of extras and stuff like that, and that was great. I think the opening set piece is incredibly filmed. But the funny thing about it, you were saying the Coliseum, how big the Coliseum is. Coliseum's big. It's but it's like nowhere near compared to even like Ohio State's football stadium.
They made that shit look like a NFL stadium. Like,
and Ridley Scott, when they went and toured the actual Coliseum, he looked at his set designer and said, "Too small." Which is like, can you imagine?
It's like, no, you're like, this is the actual Coliseum. This is not a movie set. This is the actual Coliseum. It's like too small.
Can't do it. Shit whack. This shit whack. Fuck this.
Shit trash.
Nah. I need Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's what I need.
They made that shit look like the horseshoe or the swamp. Like they made
whole
that shit
fucking
look huge.
empire is in this whole.
Yeah.
Like...
But it was great because when they first kind of walk in there, not on the outside, when him and Jaimin Hansu are looking at it, they're like, "Have you ever seen anything like that?" They're like, "Nah, dude," which is kind of a funny thing. We're like, "Nah,"
which is true because nothing like that existed at that time.
Yeah. It's basically like if you gave a cell phone to somebody in the 1800s, they'd be
you
like,
ever seen
"What?"
something like this? It's like, no, I haven't seen an iPhone. I have not seen the iPhone 1. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. So, but when they really get the sense of scale when they go in there for the first time, the Battle of Carthage or whatever, where they're all supposed to die.
Yep.
And they kind of are looking around, stunned. That shot is awesome because one, I mean, it's mostly, it's funny because I read they used extras. They used cardboard cutouts like it was an NBA game, and they used and they used CGI. So it was a good mix of a bunch of stuff, but you can't really tell. At least I couldn't, even watching this in 2021, that it was any different. And I thought it looked great even now.
I damn sure didn't see any cardboard cutouts. That would have been really bad. Don't let me see the cardboard.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I struggle with the cardboard cutouts even now. Like watching my NFL NBA games.
You like take that shit.
I'm
down.
like, damn, it's a lot of people like in this motherfucker. Oh no, those are cutouts.
Oh no, those are people. Damn.
Justin Timberlake's at this game. Oh wait.
I was watching Super Bowl like, damn, it's kind of packed in there. Oh, never mind.
All right. So do y'all have, I mean, like of course, the opening fight scene is great. The dog's the MVP of that opening fight scene, by the way. They
Nah, the
filmed that dog in like
MVP is
slow motion.
the MVP is the guy who was on fire about to kill Russell Crowe and then gets sliced up from behind. That shit was so dope.
Right. Oh man, you thought that, it's funny is you think that scene's gearing up to him fighting the big sort of like leader guy, and then they just like 5 people stab him to death.
Yeah, he gets off in the corner.
It's just really like historically accurate, which is kind of funny. Where they're just like, nah, we're not gonna have this big one-on-one. And he just stabs some.
Yeah, nah,
5 people.
Dude, living during that time looks so trash. I've said
Awful.
this before on this podcast. Living at any point before like
1980.
1980, 1990, it's just fucking awful. Like this is your lot in life. You get to go fucking get stabbed, and maybe you'll get to go to the fucking wounded camp and have some random dude just like wrap some towels around your fucking leg stump.
Oh man, he got gangrene. Sucks.
Well, that's tough. He'll be gone
DNP
soon.
gangrene. Put that on the injury report.
Can you still fight? I'm missing limbs. Can you still fight?
I'll do anything for Rome. No, the fuck I won't.
No, I won't.
mean,
I won't do anything for Rome. Rome ain't done
says-
shit for me, obviously. Look where I am. I don't have no fucking arms.
He said something. He's like, if you find yourself walking through green fields, you don't worry because you're already in Elysium. And they're all like, yeah, we're gonna die. They're all so okay with like, they're all like 18 years old probably, which is really funny about this because no one's as old as these these actors actually are within this movie. Like Richard Harris is in this movie as Caesar. Caesar was like 50 when he died. This dude is like 88.
Everybody was like 50 when they died, or sooner.
Yeah.
They made it seem like he was an old man. Like an old man. Nobody was living to those kind of ages back then. So
there
they
was
just
nothing to
aged him
live
up.
for. What the fuck I'm gonna do for 80 years out here, bro?
What the fuck I'm gonna do?
That's the funniest thing about some old time movies when they'll put them in and they're just like, I have lived a life to
Like
65.
you're 37, bro. Like,
I am ready to go.
I'm done. I went to war. I saw people get their like arms chopped in half. Like I'm out of here. Like I'm gonna go home, and I guess my wife like makes unscented candles. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
unscented candles.
Yo, like what the? Everybody fucking stinks out here. There's no air conditioning. Like I'm done. I'm out.
We take a bath once a quarter.
I guess I'll go read the Bible. Like, thanks.
That shit does. Like I've lived enough life. I'm out of here. I'm good. I'm bored. I'm good, bros.
Just got to wait around until somebody is born that has different thoughts that can write them down.
Send me to Elysium, fam. I'm good, bro. Let me go on about my way.
My wife died giving birth to our 17th child. Like, what the fuck am I still doing here? I'm done. I'm good.
Oh man. So immediately like Joaquin Phoenix is weird from the jump. Why is he so good at playing big weirdos?
Because he's a big.
I mean, he is
He's
a big
literally
weirdo.
a weirdo in real life.
Yeah.
But
So,
at the beginning, I was like, because I've seen the character before. Like, I didn't really know the story of the movie or whatever, but like I've seen like clips and like images of the character or whatever. And at the beginning, I was like, oh, so he's a big dumb idiot who's just like mad. Like he's Fredo, except Fredo like killed the Godfather instead of just being killed. And like we were saying, eventually he like is figuring out secret plots and over like stopping coups before they happen and shit. But I was at the beginning, I was like, okay, so he's an idiot and he's a weirdo. But this movie is 2.5 hours long, so like, how's this gonna work? Like with him as the main villain, and then they just switched his characterization entirely. But like watching him kill his dad at the beginning, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like
big time. Why didn't you love me? Energy, like
basically
daddy issues. The movie, and basically he was like, Caesar was like, you suck, but it's not your fault.
Yeah, it's actually
I'm
my
trash.
fault. Believe me, son, it's my fault that you suck, but also you suck, so you cannot be the emperor of Rome. Sorry.
You said my fault's for you sucking, but you still are ass.
Yeah.
So like,
I can't just let you run Rome, bro. Like I fucked that one up, and that's on me.
That's on me.
But hey, you can't just run Rome.
You need to just,
like,
he could have just sat down and chilled and done something cushy and got in good with the government. Nope. He said, "Fuck that. I choose violence. I'm killing my dad."
They're gonna bring you the finest wine. You can have the finest women who are not your sister.
He could have literally just been sleeping with any kind of woman, but he wanted to fuck his sister and he wanted to be the emperor. That's all he wanted to do. He could have been at the Coliseum drunk every weekend, being the most popular man in town, sleeping with anybody he wanted to. With box seats, bro.
Yeah.
He said, "No, I won't do that."
And I had people feeding him grapes from the vine, like quite literally.
And he died for it because he made a horrible decision after horrible decision after horrible decision.
Like, being in charge of Rome sounds whack as hell, bro. Like, just chill. There's so much shit you gotta control.
Just chill.
You sitting over here in the Coliseum.
You got it made, bro.
Time, and then people want to act up in Carthage, so now you got to act. You got to do something, man. No, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I'm chill over here.
The most famous war general in this country has not been to the country. Everybody else is living a trash life. You can live high on the hog, bro. Being the head of Rome is trash. Be happy you don't have to go to war. He was like jealous of the dudes going to war. Like, be glad you don't have to go to war. You don't have to risk your life for some stupid ideal. Like, just sit at home and be rich and live a good life.
You think there are dudes sitting in those camps that were just like, yeah, this is whack as hell. Did you even get a letter? No, they just told me to show up.
How did we end up here?
No, what is?
Did we choose this?
Yeah.
My mom said I was 18, so I had to go fight now, and like I'm just here. I don't know, man. Like,
just people having woke. Yeah, people just having woke thoughts like, what even is Rome, man? Like, if you think about it.
If you really think about it, I don't even know where our country starts and ends, because every 6 weeks there's another territory that we've conquered. So yeah. I don't know where Rome starts or ends, but I don't really give a shit because all my friends are dead. All my friends have died in trying to acquire these territories, and I don't care about anything.
They're just sitting there.
I saw a guy and die in the woods the other day. He died from shitting.
They're all just sitting there like, you know what, man? If we all just fought the general instead of fighting for the general, they can't stop us all, right?
Everybody, then they're just like, boo! Oh god,
we can go home and be family men and like just be on the farm fucking our wives. Nah, we're gonna die for Rome. We're gonna take over some new country we just found out exists yesterday.
I don't even know what the name of this fucking country, but we're taking it over.
Yeah, maybe Caesar will love us after that. No, he won't love you after that.
Yeah, I mean, he even says in the movies, like, I've been emperor for 24 years and I've been fighting for 20 of them. That sucks, bro. Don't try to be emperor.
That part of the movie really doesn't work, because why is it that you spent 20 of your 24 years as emperor fighting, forcing people to fight, forcing people to die for Rome because you think that Rome is supposed to be the biggest empire in the world, and all of a sudden now that you're dying, you're like, actually, all this war is trash, and I want to give the people some democratic power. It's like, what? You could have did this 20 years ago.
Yeah, you couldn't figure that out year 5 of the war.
Bro, why did it took you 24 years and to be like halfway in the grave to figure out that maybe this isn't the best for the people of Rome? Like, come on, bro.
They had to try to conquer the Gauls, man. Just a little history lesson, hardcore history.
Absolutely wild.
Everything about living this time.
That's why Rome doesn't exist anymore.
Just at the
horrendous decision making.
Just at the end of his life, I'm sad. Just like, all right, buddy.
Also, Joaquin Phoenix being like, you remember this random conversation we had like 8 years ago about the 4 virtues? I don't have any of that shit. That shit eats me up inside.
that shit was amazing. Like, the self-awareness to be like, you tell me the 4 virtues. Yo, none of that shit is me, Dad. Fuck you, Dad.
I'm virtuous in other ways, Dad.
He was basically like the pop punk teenager. Like, this isn't my life, Dad.
The dad, he literally knew, like, oh, you want someone who's virtuous? I'm not virtuous, Dad. So fuck you for putting that as one of the requirements because you know I don't have that shit.
You
should
know
make
I don't
it so
have
that
that shit.
I can be power hungry and snarky. That's what I got. That should be the requirements because that's what I fucking got.
You know I'm not good at math.
Why would you say the best emperors are good at math, Dad? You know I can't do that shit. I'm fucking killing it in social studies.
Oh my god, that was such self-awareness. Like he knew, like he ain't even trying to lie. Like, yo, Dad, you don't know me that well, but I'm actually. He was like, nah, that's not me, bro. Like, you know that's not me. I know that's not me. Let's just cut to the shit. You know I'm not shit. It's your fault. You're gonna die now, Dad. Sorry.
So yeah, that it was like some of that was improv by Phoenix, which was actually really good acting, but you know, him choking out his dad, you're just kind of sitting there. But then Maximus immediately knows. He's like, nah, dog. He's like, he killed him.
Yeah, you killed that dude, bro. You did
Maximus
that
has
shit.
been around enough dead people, bro. He knows when people have died from shitting in the woods and when people have died because they were killed. He knows, bro. A lot of his countrymen have died from just shitting in the woods. He knows, bro. He knows.
Yeah. He had the black shit.
Another one.
Dying from a bear hug like to your son's chest is just wild. Like what a sad way to die. You're the fucking emperor of Rome. You've been doing all this conquering and killing and raping and pillaging.
For
and
what?
then your son just kills you with a bear hug.
And your sad boy son chokes
hands.
you to death. You got choked out by a sad boy.
Yeah, come here, bitch.
If you had just spent one of those years literally daddying, the whole Rome's whole fate could have changed. But instead, you were out there trying to conquer the whole world, and your own son killed you. Sorry.
And it's not like Rome's fate really changed that much because he was like emperor for 2 weeks. We're being honest. Yeah, I did write down. I wrote this down pretty early on in my notes. The politics is the lesser. It's the less interesting thing in this movie. If we're like just being honest, like some of those things, like if you ever watch Rome on HBO, there's of course fighting and stuff in that, but it's a better version of the politics of this, where it makes you intrigued about the history and things like that. This is not a history movie. Half of this history is all made up. Commodus did not die this way. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's funny because Commodus was a real person. Gaius Caesar was a real person, but they just like completely rewrote their history within this movie, which is kind of interesting to do. But if you watch Rome on HBO, of course, like the best parts up until like the final seasons of Game of Thrones are sort of the politics and the backstabbing and stuff like that. You get none of that in here because it's just all like, I want a republic. No, I want to be an emperor. And they're just kind of like, just that's what it is.
Yeah, the senator dude is just literally like, we're the Senate. We're not gonna do shit. Like we're just gonna be here until people hate the emperor, and then they'll be like, "Yay, senators!" And then we'll pop up like, "Fuck yeah, bitches!" But
yeah,
until then, we're not gonna do shit.
I will say the one of the dopest lines in this movie is when he goes, "Give me a clean death, a soldier's death," and he kills that guy, and the guy tries to take his sword out, and he goes, "The frost. Sometimes it makes the blade stick." And the guy's like, "Oh no!" That was dope.
That was the coolest white man to ever exist in this film. He's so dope.
The worst executioners ever, dog. How like all 6 of you are trying to kill this one man, guy, and all of you got fucking smoked.
Like he's like OP from the jump too, because he nearly gets
very OP.
Yeah, like he nearly gets killed a couple times in the first fight, but after that, it's not even close. The rest of the time, like not even like he's fighting tigers and like an all-time great in the ring, and he kills a tiger and kills the all-time great. Not even a scratch on my guy.
He killed the all-time great so easily, and that's when I was like, "Oh, this dude is different." Like the all-time great went out extremely sad.
Just imagine like being one of the young dudes like in the group with Maximus, like y'all are both like rookies trying to come up or whatever. It's just like, God damn, bro, like quit, like relax.
Didn't he come out of retirement? The all-time great dude, didn't he come out of retirement?
He was out. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll come. It's like just like Wizards Jordan just coming back like
getting completely dominated.
Just
And
getting
like what you put your life on the line. You
can't
somehow
defend on the ball, just getting blown by.
Game passed them by, bro. It happens. They
Oh,
build
man.
different out
he
here.
was out. He was clear.
He got
was
out,
safe.
yeah.
He literally got out. I was like, I'm gonna go back for this super match. How can I miss that? It's like if you lose, you die, bro. You haven't been on the court in years. You gotta risk your life. Michael Jordan wouldn't come back with the Wizards if he knew his life was on the line if he didn't win the finals. He'd be like, fuck, no, I'm not coming back.
If Jordan knew he was gonna get a sprained ankle, he wasn't gonna come back.
Wizards Jordan trying to guard fucking Russell Westbrook and like on the wing. Nah, I'm good. I ain't got it, bro. You good?
Nah, I'm good. We got Teej is frozen. Oh no. But let's see. Is he gone?
No,
oh, there we go. We're good. All right.
Me.
It's kind of interesting because it's like he gets away, but then does he ride from Germany all the way to Spain?
How far is that?
As hell.
Far?
As hell. I think that is what happened.
Like a bullet train can get there in like 30 minutes, but like a horse?
Fucking Red Dead mission. Like,
they got the same fast travel that they
Dog, you got to go through France to get to Spain.
They did the same fast travel they did in the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones. They were just like, you know how long it took people to travel? Fuck that. They're just going to be there. They're just going to be there immediately.
Yeah, you know where the story's going.
You know where you know they're going there.
Also, he gets a head start on those murderers, and he still doesn't get there in time.
He didn't even get there close in time because it looked like the son had the wife had been up there for a minute, bro.
Yeah, they turned black. Like they was up there.
Yeah, like she was up there for a minute, bro. He wasn't even close.
Just not even, yeah.
And you should have known, bro. I wouldn't even gone back. Like they did.
Shot clock expired, and it was just like,
it's not worth it, bro. I would just ride on to somewhere.
Grossest cry ever is what I write. He gets sold into slavery. Of course, the maggots thing in his shoulder is super gross,
disgusting.
But so he gets sold into slavery. And the guy, Proximo, gives one speech where he's like, you can be heroes or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'll fight. Because he wasn't going to fight. Yeah. And then Proximo gives one pump-up speech. And he's like, all right.
I mean, when your options
wanted to fight, bro. He wanted to
You can fight, and you're going to be better than all these people because you're fucking OP. Or you can just die. Like, yeah. I'll probably fight. I'm going to win. So fuck it.
It is like a MMA fighter just being in a bar fight, just like knowing like
he's like bored of it. Like whatever. If I wanted to end this, it's like that video of those football players that fought those MMA dudes in the bathroom. It's just like that. Yeah. Like the MMA dudes were just extremely like, you sure you want to do this? We don't have to do this. I promise we don't have to do this. Are you sure? Are you sure? And it's like, all right, fuck it. I'll just do it. But like, we didn't have to actually get here. We could have just avoided this altogether. But now we're here, and now your face is broken.
Fucking chop your head off with two swords at the same time.
the opening fight with where they're chained to each other is very entertaining. But the funniest thing is that dude pissing himself before he goes into the arena is so accurate.
That would have been me.
Yeah.
That would have absolutely been me.
Absolutely. What do you mean I got to go fight this dude with like a bull head on his, like, what?
Just kill me in the back in the most humane way possible. I don't want to go out there and get chopped in half in front of all these people. No, thank you. I don't want that.
Man, you ain't got to embarrass me like this. Like, what,
bro?
Do this?
The dude gets stabbed, and then the big guy cuts his arm off to get the chain out. Like, what a sad way to go. But that fight's entertaining, and then of course the one thing that everybody remembers this film, besides my name's Maximus Decimus Meridius, is are you not entertained? It is in the cultural zeitgeist. It is a GIF. It is a meme.
Once Jay-Z used it as the intro, it became stamped.
That's where I heard it like the first time. I had never seen the movie.
Wait, what?
I had listened to that song for.
What more can I say? The introduction of the song is that audio clip.
Oh,
where
really?
where he throws the sword down. He's like, "Are you not entertained?" He throws the sword down, and then they start chanting "Spaniard, Spaniard." That's the beginning of the song.
What more can I say?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going on at the start of this.
He should have
yeah.
used the Maximus Decius Aurelius speech, because that's just the greatest shit of all time. But obviously, "Are You Not Entertained" is a lot more on brand for an entertainer who's making a song about, "I've done all this shit, but y'all won't put me number one on anybody's list," which is basically what the song is about.
Dude,
It's so fucking good.
That is fire.
Incredible.
It's fucking fire.
Just are you not in that? I would argue that won him the Oscar, man. The is this not why are you here? It's just an incredible, like, that goes down as like is probably already in the AFI top 100 movie quotes, but like,
does he think that those people are going to reconsider their position on brutality in sports because he said, "Is this not why you were here?" Like they were very entertained. Like it's not
they love that shit.
They love that shit. They're gonna tell everybody about that.
Fuck
shit.
Yeah, Max.
They just watch Kobe. Like if Kobe dropped 80 and was just like, "Are you not entertained? This is what you." It's like, yeah, we wanted you to do that, bro. We wanted you to destroy Jalen Rose. We wanted you to further push Jalen Rose into the ground and embarrass that man every time you touch the ball. We wanted to see that.
He literally washed 5 dudes.
It's fucking
like, just all attacking
by himself
at once. Just go all at once.
And they
barely
had no
scratched.
answers for this man, but like
he barely got scratched.
He didn't
look like fucking Devontae Adams playing fucking Ohio State. They're just like, you're getting the ball, but ain't shit we can do about it, bro. Like you're just gonna score every single fucking time. Please chop my head off. Like there's nothing else I can do.
We've been triple teaming Aaron Donald all game.
He's got 4 sacks.
He's still getting back there.
What are we supposed to do? There's nothing that we can do. It's like he really other than the beginning scenes, he rarely ever is tested. Like That's what makes this so cool. He's destroying people. He's dropping 85 a game, bro. He's going crazy. It's why it's the best sports movie of all time.
And
He's
it's not
nuts.
And it's not like other movies. Like it's not like a Superman problem where it's like, oh, he's too OP. It's not entertaining anymore. No, that shit is fucking dope. I love not seeing this man challenge. I want to see him fucking murk every goddamn
It's
body.
like 2012 LeBron James Heat when he was going off at like 65 and like people were like, LeBron James has been good for literally 7 years, but now LeBron James is in his peak prime at 28. And you're just like, oh shit, we fucked up.
It's like, oh my God, LeBron James has scored the last 32 points for the Cavs. It's like, wait, what? Did I miss something? It's like everybody in the gym knows he's getting the ball, and it doesn't matter. Like he's gonna get the ball, he's gonna take it to the post, and then once you start trying to double down on it, he's gonna shoot a 3, he's gonna make it. Then he's gonna go right past you. It's like he has too many tools in the bag, and you cannot account for all of them. That's Russell Crowe. It's like if you think I'm gonna stab you here, I'm gonna actually stab you here. You think I'm gonna cut your head off, but really I'm cutting off your foot. Now you can't move, and now you're dead. Like he's just going crazy on people.
Maximus, after getting the showmanship from Proximo, is like when LeBron went to Hakeem and learned the post moves.
I was gonna say watching those fight scenes was like watching that LeBronto game where you was just fucking slicing up the Raptors every which way. Man just doing like fucking 30-foot like fadeaways and shit just because he can at the end of the shot clock. Just like fuck you guys, like you're done.
It's garbage.
It's like
trash.
It's rare within any sport that you see somebody who is like, we all know what's happening and it doesn't matter. Like it literally
Tyson in his prime.
Exactly. Or like it's like watching. What was it? It's like watching Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, it's a close game. It's like, oh shit, Tom Brady's got the ball with 2 minutes left. The game is over. The game is over.
Too much time.
Like,
too much
time. Like, exactly. Like it's like we know the ending. We're still gonna enjoy watching it, but like we know the ending because this dude is like in his prime. Everybody's gonna be trying to stop him. It doesn't matter. Like
Commodus left him too much time there at the end. He should have slit his throat. Be living today.
Fucking Maximus, fucking Kobe Bryant, just shooting over Shane Battier, like hand in his eye, like basically.
Dude, we needed a Mike Breen. Bang!
It's like watching. It's like there are just certain athletes at certain times where it's just like we know how this ends. This guy is somehow head and shoulders and stomach and chest and pelvic region above everybody else, and we're just gonna watch him do it. That's
I wish they would have like added like modern day trash talk. I mean, the "Are you not entertained" is basically like, look what you've sent me. but like I wish he would have added in modern day trash talk to like these early fight scenes, and like, your mom trash. Like, just like
put his ass in the dirt.
If he did an MJ shrug, this movie would have won the Academy Award for 7 straight years. If he did an MJ, it would have been the greatest thing. If Russell Crowe just cracked a smile after a kill and did the MJ shrug, greatest film of all time.
Iverson
he was
step
so
over.
Close.
Dude, if you would have done the Iverson step over,
because they should have leaned into it. They should have leaned into it and just did sports references.
Just a T.O. fly, Eagles fly.
There was one scene where he like, it wasn't the Maximus the Merciful one. It was like a different one where he had like smirked everybody, but one dude was like still like twitching on the ground like alive or whatever. Should have Iverson stepped over that dude
and walked back to the tunnel.
Walk back to the tunnel, like throw down the sword. Just like, look at these bitches. Look what y'all gave me. Look at my opponent. What the fuck is this?
Garbage, trash. Just
garbage. Marshawn.
Garbage. I wish they would have had post-game press conferences for Maximus.
Maximus, what to see out there tonight?
Well, I mean, they're just not. I mean, I'm just better than everybody else. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm feeling myself. I'm in the zone right now.
No disrespect. I'm playing a different game than they're playing.
I'm seeing the court, reading the defense, and they just cannot stop me right now. I am
fucking Sunday Night Football intros.
Once I saw Commodus sitting in the crowd, I turned it up to another level. I really wanted Commodus to feel me, bro. I wanted him to see me up close. I want him to know what's coming for him.
I'm just going to let you know.
I'm him.
Yeah. Maximus Decimus Meridius, Spain. Yeah, just Commodus. Look, Dana, find me another fight. Pay me my money. Just like that would have been funny. But I did write down the Coliseum looks dope, but it's nothing compared to playing at Ohio State on a Saturday.
Yeah, man. Like, Jesus Christ. We went to Baylor. I was very used to a 45,000 seat stadium. I went and watched the game at Kyle Field. I was like, holy fuck.
Kyle Field is different.
This is a whole new level. What the hell? There's like seats on top of like fucking.
Never won anything, but it's impressive ass stadium.
Never
won
like
anything. If you stand up, never won literally anything. That you'll roll down.
You're going to fall and die. And they have like,
I don't know how they pack that many drunk people in that stadium without mass casualties.
It's an incredible operation, man. Like that yell leader shit looks incredibly corny, but it works so fucking well. I was like, how are you getting?
We're not gonna make this an A&M praise podcast.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do that.
Guys. Jimbo Fisher.
They never won anything. I just want that to be the takeaway. They never won anything.
Claim national championships, ass.
They've claimed some national championships, but nobody recognizes them.
The best year of my life ended with a Cotton Bowl appearance when the Cotton Bowl wasn't even the New Year's Six Bowl. So didn't win their division, but congrats.
Hey, they beat Alabama that one time. That was basically their championship.
Johnny Manziel was cool for like 30 minutes. Yep. Okay, so we got to talk about it because it's so just throughout the entire movie, it's basically his driving force. The incest subplot in this is so unneeded. It's so weird, too.
That guy could have sex with anybody in Rome that he wants to. And the one person he wants is his sister. But again, if you didn't have that same energy for Jamie and Cersei, I don't want to hear it, bro.
Well, yeah, everybody did. But it's also just like, it makes his character even more weird and unsettling, which is fine. It makes him even more of a villain, like, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But it's also like, why? Just make him an actual villain. Like, you don't have to make him like mentally ill.
I get they wanted to do they did the thing where his dad loved Maximus, the woman he wanted to be with loved Maximus. all that other shit. But it's like you could have done that with any woman. Like you didn't have to make that his sister. Like,
Everybody he loves Maximus. He could not stand Maximus, and then when he got on the court with Maximus exposed him. That kind of shit breeds beef forever, bro. Like forever.
But it doesn't have to be his sister though. Like they could have picked any random ass woman in Rome that like
that he loved. Yeah.
That he loved and wanted to be with Maximus, and it would have worked just as well. But yeah, there is something about like your dad wanted that to be his son, your sister wanted that to be her lover, and neither of these people loves you like that. I wrote down that Commodus was on the Paul Pierce tour. Like they don't love you like that. Like throughout this entire movie.
He didn't get a going away video.
Yeah, like they pulled up to Rome and they were like, nah, you whack. Where's your daddy at? Fuck this. But
they booed him when he's a boo.
Trash. Get out of here.
I also do like the fact that like he the one smart decision he made is I know they're gonna hate me. There's probably whispers in the streets that I killed my dad. These people don't love me, but I'm about to give them basically NFL Sundays, and I'm about to give them League Pass. I'm about to give them Red Zone. They're gonna love this shit, bro. Imagine if Joe Biden was like, "Yo, free Red Zone for everybody." They would love his approval rating would go. It would skyrocket, bro. Like people, he literally
Max
gave those people
the movie.
Even literally was like, "Yo, here's Red Zone for everybody."
Even people that are like, "I don't watch them since they kneel." We're like, "I kind of like this actually."
Bro, if you give everybody free Red Zone, everybody's gonna come back. Like Red Zone, the product is amazing. Like it's too fire. Like it's too much fun to watch. If you just give people free Red Zone, that's your political campaign. That's literally his only political campaign. Like, here, come watch sports. And they were like, all right, cool. I love it. I love I love the Emperor now.
It's like Greg Abbott being like, Texas and Texas A&M are going to play. Everybody
basically, like, I'm going to give it to you. It's going to be primetime, ABC. It's going to be the biggest thing in the world. I'm bringing it back. They would immediately, his approval rating will go up by 35% immediately.
It's like they give you every fucking WWE pay-per-view for free, and then Stone Cold shows up. Like,
The Rock comes back.
Yeah, it's like they got like the greatest of all time at this shit as soon as they started getting it for free. Like that just never happens.
I do like the thing that that Jaimin Hansu says, and I know I'm mispronouncing his name, so I apologize. He's a great actor, but also has a terrible cut. Thank God they shaved his head later in this movie. But when they do the Battle of Carthage and they just wash those people with like way less equipment, and everybody's stunned and they're like, hey, aren't the people in Carthage supposed to die? But like, yeah. But they do the My Name's Maximus scene. And also, why wouldn't you know? It sounds exactly like Maximus, looks kind of like Maximus. Take the helmet off. Yeah, the movie trope, but
that doesn't make sense. That never makes sense,
yeah.
But it's still fucking dope when he finally reveals himself.
All that to say, Jaimin Hansu delivers a line that says, when they're telling him they want him to like live or whatever, the crowd is wanting him to live. He said they have to kill your name before they kill you. And so he has to make sure that he's embarrassed before he dies. So I think it was a really interesting sort of to keep the plot moving along.
Yeah, they have to justify why this dude's still living, because if the emperor was really shook and was aware of how shook it would be, he would immediately have him executed. But it's like the emperor is already trying to get the public opinion on his side. He's giving him these games. You happen to have Michael Jordan in his prime walk into these games. If you take that from people unjustly, they're gonna riot. But if you send him down there and get him exposed, and then so people like, see, that's not Michael Jordan reincarnated. It's like, oh, okay, cool, not your fault. But
well, it was when they were gonna poison his food. They thought they may poison his food, and the guy does the gag, real funny gag where he's like, ah. But, he says he has to kill your name before he kills you. Like, you can't just kill you and not in public.
You can't just kick
Yeah.
Conor McGregor out the UFC. People want to see Conor McGregor go out sad. Like if you just kick him out of the UFC, people gonna be pissed off at Dana. But if Conor goes out there and you see him get bludgeoned, then it's like, oh, we got to see it. Okay, cool. Like can't be mad at Dana. It happens.
Sidebar: him wanting to fight Usman. We don't really talk about it, like other things other than movies, but him wanting to fight Usman, that dude's gonna get washed. Holy shit! I can't believe he was talking that mad shit,
bro. He hang it up, dog. You're done. You're done.
Sell your whiskey, have your millions, fight old people in bars. You'll be fine.
Show up on First Take every now and again talking shit. Like you don't have to do this anymore, bro. We got it. You were great. You're done now. Your time has passed.
Let's see. I do kind of want to see, because it doesn't really happen where it's like, because it just kind of ends like I was saying. I want to see the version of this where he gets out, he breaks out of prison, and he goes and he overthrows the government, where they're saying he's like, no army has marched into Rome in years. Like I want to see where they just made this, like I know this movie is too long to begin with, but I do kind of want to see this where they're like, he gets to his army, they come in and they have just a big fight in the middle of Rome. Like, why not? Like, we're already here.
That would have been so dope.
Like
honestly.
one more big battle.
Yep.
I did like the scene though where he was just like, so you're just gonna overthrow Rome and then just be like, you can have it back now. Like I'm done. And he was like, yeah.
So I do not want to be the leader of Rome.
He had the right idea. He was like, no.
He was the only one that realized that being the leader of Rome is trash, and he saw that the dad didn't exactly enjoy being the leader of Rome either, even though he did it for 24 years. He could have just retired, bro. Like,
I will say, and I said this earlier, I think Phoenix is overacting a little bit. I mean, maybe y'all disagree, but I think he's just like, there's just some parts of this where he's like, I don't know why you didn't love me. And you're just like, come on, man. Like, I think.
Am I not merciful?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Just kind of screaming. It's like, I mean, obviously it's the exact opposite of what Russell Crowe is in this movie.
yeah.
You know, silent and brooding and then occasionally bombastic. But like, he is just at a 10 the entire movie of just like crying and screaming and just kind of like, I don't know.
He's definitely overacting, but I love it. It never bothers me. I love it.
By the end of the movie, though, I was kind of tired of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Then you got to watch him die. He went out very sad.
That's true.
He went out extremely sad.
He went out extremely sad. That man got fucking cooked
in front of the love of his life. in front of the host.
In front of his sister wife.
She ain't come to you at all. Maximus fell to the ground. She was over there immediately. Like she didn't give a fuck about you. Dog.
She didn't give a fuck. She was happy your ass was dead.
I love that imagery at the end of the movie because it's so stupid. It would just never happen in real life where they're just like, who will help me carry him? And the Emperor of Rome is just dead on the ground.
and no one cares about the Emperor of Rome at all.
No, yeah, he's bleeding dead on the ground. They're just like, who will help me carry this slave? Okay, everyone.
They're fucking carrying him like fucking Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man.
Careful, he's a hero.
Careful, he's a hero.
Yeah.
Fuck the Emperor. He's out of here.
We like the dude that hasn't taken a bath in 6 months. I will say the plot where it's just, you were saying, because all of a sudden Commodus knows the plot. Like he just, and they don't really go into it because it sucks. They're just like, he just knows that he's trying to escape. Of course, that guy gets hung. They help him escape. What I don't understand is why all those dudes in the prison, all the other gladiators are like, yeah, we'll die to help this one man escape.
Yeah, they're just
because he's a leader of men. And plus, those dudes are only still alive because of him, because he told them to work together, which should not have been a novel concept, by the way.
No.
This is something that you don't have to be a war general to come up with a plan that maybe we should work together and not just go out there and all die separately. Like, maybe we should work together.
Hero ball isn't working today, guys.
Yeah, like, let's run an offense, guys. That's not rocket science. Like,
he's also Greg Popovich.
He's Michael Jordan and Greg Popovich at the same time.
That's crazy, bro. But still, I would have been like, I'm alive right now because of you, and I'm gonna use that gift. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
It was like
I'm
he
not gonna
walked
go
onto
out
a
here and
football
die,
field.
bro.
It was like he walked to a football field and he was the first one that's like, instead of just like dropping back and everybody doing their own thing, why don't we call a play where everybody knows what the play is and we all know so we're all working to execute the same goal, as opposed to the receivers are thinking it's a pass and the running back is thinking it's a run and the offensive line doesn't know whether we're running or blocking. He's just like, hey, why don't we just call plays? And it was like, oh my God, this is going to change everything. It's like those dudes should have already known this stuff.
1925. The same exact idea that Teej just had. Somebody's like, wait, what if we draw something on a board? But yeah, I just said all those dudes died from nothing. I mean, they do get released in the very end, but I did like that big dude just got shot with like 1,000 arrows. And you're just
Bro,
like,
they fucked him up. They had beef with him. Like,
yeah.
because they all came in at the same fucking time. Like, nah, we get this big bitch out of here. If we don't do nothing else tonight,
if we all die,
you.
we're getting him out of here, bro. He's going with us.
And then they stabbed Proximo to death. Like, I thought that was a kind of a fitting ending, but obviously that circumstances dictated that's how it was ending. He probably would have maybe lived if that's how if he hadn't have actually died in real life. But the Jaimin Hansu lives, of course. I said they died for nothing, but then when that guy when the guy falls off the horse and gets hung, they have like snipers and like 1,000
snipers.
They have like 1,000 people come on him. I said that's incredibly small PP energy from Commodus to be like I need 1,000 men, 1,000 of your best men to get one man.
It's like when they fucking guard James Harden full court and it's just him and like Trevor Ariza just standing in the corner. Like, yeah. I guess I'll just be over here. Like, nah, they were like, we are stopping you. You are not putting 50 on us tonight. No,
yeah, you won't drop 50 on us, bro. Sorry. You might have 37 assists, but you're not dropping 50 on us.
No, we're not letting you do it. So yeah, I don't know. And then it kind of course, we've said Phoenix goes out so sad. Just Michael Spinks, like just beating Mike Tyson. But yeah,
that man just got so thoroughly cooked. Like when he was getting stabbed in the throat, he was like trying to fight back, and Maximus was just like, nah.
The look on his face, though, that was great acting by him. The look on his face was like, I can't believe this just happened.
He's like, nah, go to sleep, bro. You're done.
What the fuck did he think was? I know you stabbed him with the poison, or you stabbed him, and so you thought he was going to die. But that had to make you feel at that moment like, damn. Even when I weakened this man, I still going out very sad in front of all the hoes. That sucks.
And he fucked my sister, bro. Like,
and he fucked my sister. And my dad loved him, and all I really wanted in life was my dad to love me. Damn, I just lost to a greater man. I can't do shit, bro.
Jordan Shrug. Also, that dude was trying to actively die. Maximus was trying to actively push towards the light, and then his instincts kicked in and would like jolt him back to reality. And
job's not done. Job's not finished.
Good enough. Instincts were good enough to still whoop your ass. You suck. You stink.
You stink. What have you been doing in this palace your whole fucking life, bro? You ain't pick up no hands. Just
stink. And then it just kind of ends, right? Like, I'm not wrong in thinking that.
Basically,
yeah. The ending
had already lasted about
weird.
9 hours, though, so yeah. I wasn't mad that it was
right. But there's no sort of resolution. It's like, okay, give the power back to the Senate. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, you don't know what happens in Rome. You don't know who the new emperor is. You don't care about Rome. Fuck Rome. We're only here to see people die.
Yeah, your dude gets to like plant a seed, I guess, and that's like symbolic. And he's gonna see his people on the other side, but
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
What do we say to the god of death? Not yet. Not right now. Maybe later.
Not today. not. I mean, maybe later. But anything else? Any lasting thoughts on this movie?
One thing that I want to talk about that really, really like caught me off guard, kind of fucked with me, was when they were doing like. It was one of the fight scenes where he becomes like Maximus the Merciful or whatever, and they're all chanting "Live, live. I was like, can you imagine just like an NFL stadium? Just everybody was just chanting, live. Dude gets laid out, probably has CTE now, like a concussion. Just everybody's just fucking chanting, live.
rolling him out on one of those golf carts where he's like, "Yay, thumbs up,
live,
thank
live.
you."
And then being a Baylor fan, hearing a Roman kill chant, I was like, ooh, boy, this is uncomfy.
Yikes! We do that at football games
Yeah,
on defense.
uncomfy.
Oh man. So yeah, that is Gladiator 2000, winner of 5 Academy Awards. Now we're gonna do a very fun draft. I'm ready for this one. Best. I wish we had one more person, but we will have a guest on next week, I'm pretty sure. So, but best sports movies draft right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. All right. So, best sports movies draft. What do we want to do? What order? What's the order?
Let's do Teej, Royd, and Dex.
Teej?
You know where I'm going with my first pick. This is the greatest sports movie of all time. I'm going Gladiator. We don't have to say anything else about it. We just talked about it for our 2 hours. It's Gladiator.
Nope. I mean, no.
Much better than Rudy or Hoosiers or any of them fucking movies that white people be like.
I mean, facts.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna give it to you as a sports movie though, because they're in a big fucking stadium. They're all
the way
doing
that we
chants
just
and
talked
shit.
about this with the analogies for like 2.5 hours.
It is. This is a sports movie. Now there is an awkward thing about people working like without having the choice to work, but this is only just like just give it a couple generations. But this is basically NCAA football.
I was gonna say, bro. Fucking Proximo is the big booster.
Yes, and give it and 1,000 years they'll look back on NCAA football like, wait, what? This is one of the biggest things ever, and nobody was getting paid, so it's gonna look just as weird. Obviously,
yeah,
no
but
like
Maximus
dying,
got a gold Cadillac.
He got a scholarship.
He got a couple money handshakes. You know, he deserved it. Like, we want the kids to get paid, so it's the greatest sports movie of all time.
I mean, this is kind of cliche, but I got to go with it because it was an indie film that spawned several other films and defined a genre for forever. Rocky, the original Rocky.
Rocky's great.
Yeah, that works.
Are you taking the original Rocky?
Yeah,
because I would take Rocky 4, man. That is the.
I love Rocky 4.
Perfect.
Rocky
man.
4 ended the Cold War. You can't
Facts.
really debate that. It's also super corny, but it's great when he's talking to a room. When he's talking to a room of Russians after beating a Russian's ass. If I could change.
First of all, they don't know English, but he's talking to them in English, and his words are slurred. They don't know what you're saying. Save your speech.
It's like running, like the dude's taking steroids and doing actual weightlifting. He's running up mountains and training in a cabin. And he beats his ass. It's incredible.
Rocky literally introduced us to the sports training montage, and it's one of the greatest things that ever happened in cinema history. I love a good training montage, especially the ones in Rocky are so well done. They are just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love Rocky.
Dex, 2 picks.
So both of these might be reaches, but there's only 3 of us, so who knows what a reach is in this draft. But I'm playing from the heart. First pick is I, Tonya, because that movie fucking bangs, and
that movie is great. But that movie
I love the story of Tonya Harding. Like I've seen The Price of Gold with 30 for 30 like 8 times. I've seen I, Tonya so many times. It's so that story
Allison
is so
Janney
compelling.
Put up 50 in that film. She was
good.
amazing, bro.
She earned the fuck out of that Oscar. Margot Robbie was amazing.
Sebastian Stan's in that movie, which is shocking.
Yeah,
so shocking.
I love that movie, man, and I had to draft it. I couldn't let either one of y'all draft it, so I had to take a number 3. A little bit.
Don't
of
worry,
reach,
I wasn't.
But
we weren't gonna draft it, but I do love that movie.
It's so fucking dope. It should have won.
I need to go back and watch. I think I've only seen it once. I'll watch it again.
It shouldn't have won Best Picture, but still. My next pick is going to be the very obvious one. Not a good movie at all, but it's iconic. It's a part of the cultural zeitgeist. They're making a remake. It's Space Jam. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude.
That movie.
Oh,
Come on.
I love it
Movie's
as a kid,
not
but that
good.
shit stinks.
It's not good, but it's amazing.
There's so much about it that is good. I'm not even gonna say it's not good. It's just not what
It is
we
not
built
good.
it to be. But there's so much about it that's fun. Still, even to this day, there's so much.
It's
You know why
not-
it's you know why it's not good? Because white frat guys still wear that jersey. That's why it's not good.
That's true. We could do without the white frat dudes wearing that jersey, but white frat dudes definitely love that jersey and the Fresh Prince jersey from Bel Air Academy.
Oh, dude,
we
they
really got to
love-
get
they
white frat
love
dudes to
that
stop
shit.
wearing that shit.
Get off Wish. Stop ordering that shit.
I've never
But
seen the Bel Air one. I've always
If
seen
you're a
the
white frat
Toontown-
dude,
or-
go to any music festival, you will see 9 dudes in the yellow Fresh Prince jersey.
Yeah,
White
I see
frat
that.
dudes
I
love
saw that
shit.
one all the time in college. They love that shit. But I will say, women, y'all can keep being Lola Bunny for Halloween. That is allowed.
yes.
Men cannot wear the
No more Space Jam
Bugs
jerseys,
Bunny
please.
Space Jam jersey. No, but women, y'all can continue being Lola Bunny if you'd like. Thank you.
Ooh, I got some directions that I can go here. Ah, man. People are gonna get mad at us no matter what because we're not gonna pick like all the best films. This is just okay. I'm gonna go for my heart. Y'all aren't gonna pick this one. I love it. I will watch it once a quarter, probably. Miracle. It is
The hockey one.
Yeah, it is a white film.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never
Which it
actually
kind of had to be. There
Yeah, I mean, it's
niggas on
hockey.
that team.
It's hockey.
It is hockey. True.
Let's do that
It's
hockey.
It's 1980s. It's 1980s USA versus 1980s Russia. It's the whitest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. But I will say, the speech with Kurt Russell of, you were born to be hockey players and all this stuff. It is, their time is done. It's over. I'm sick of hearing about what a great team the Russians have. is so good. Man, it's incredible. And of course, the all-time call, if you haven't ever heard it, Al Michaels' all-time call. He's like 30 when that call happened, where he's just like, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes, is probably the best call in sports history. So
I
Amazing.
respect it, but I haven't seen that.
I'm
movie.
picking.
you'll actually like it though. If I'm not,
It's
I'm not
really
kidding.
good.
On Disney Plus. It's a very good and also very good sport, like filmed very well. Like as far as because some of these sports movies where you watch them where you're like, "Ugh, this doesn't look like," they repeat shots and remember the Titans and shit, like where you're just like, "Ugh." But this is actual, like it looks like a documentary or something. Actually, if you were gonna watch it, but anyway.
I'm taking the second greatest sports movie of all time and the third greatest sports movie of all time. Y'all have really let me win this draft already. I'm taking Remember the Titans. Racism was solved.
No.
Racism was solved. Denzel was Denzel, and they won. And I don't care that it's not historically accurate. That shit fucking bangs.
Not even
And
close.
it has Ryan Gosling in it before he was Ryan Gosling and Wood Harris. And it's the fucking greatest movie of all time.
Liability at corner. Liability. Getting cooked.
And you have Sunshine, and you have Rev who can't make the pitch. There's so many interesting characters in that movie. That film is fucking amazing. My third choice is gonna be, we already talked about it. It's Rocky IV. It's just the greatest. It's perfection. I love every second of it. I'm taking Rocky IV.
Happy birthday, Bolly. The robot in that movie is so stupid.
That robot.
Polly
I
fucked
have
that robot.
run the Rocky steps in real life.
Probably
I had
fuck that
corny
robot.
moment.
I'm gonna go with one that's gonna be off the beaten path. People are gonna like I said, I don't think people are gonna like my draft, but I absolutely love this movie. And Teej, you watched it recently. Warrior is
Man, that shit is
the best fight
intense.
movie. It's the best MMA movie ever, but it might be the best fight movie that I think I've ever seen.
Is it better than Bloodsport though?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh my god, you gotta watch Bloodsport, bro.
I will
shit
say
is
it's the
incredible.
most realistic fight movie I think I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely, that's fair. Because Bloodsport is like, it's
Not
like,
realistic.
I guess it's kind of MMA, but it's more just like a kung fu movie. But that shit is. I might watch Bloodsport tonight. That shit bangs. I love Bloodsport.
If you haven't seen Warrior, not a lot of people saw it, but it's Tom Hardy right before he's Bane, and he's just like almost Bane size and just killing dudes in the octagon, and it's incredible. It's a very, very, very good movie. I go back and I watch the fight scenes on YouTube probably once a month.
You want to talk about OP? That dude was going crazy on people, bro.
Yeah,
That
like
dude
one
was-
punch.
Completely washing the competition with minimal effort, bro.
Right. Dex, 2 picks.
So I'm gonna take Uncle Drew. No, I'm kidding. I actually did see that movie in theaters, though.
Of course.
I would go see fucking anything back in the day. I'm gonna take Hardball just because that movie is hilarious and
No
adorable.
way, dude. Come on.
What? You don't like Hardball?
I love Hardball, but it's not the best best sports movies of all time. Come on.
It's probably not even the top 5 baseball movie, but I still
It's
like
not
it.
even a top 5 Keanu movie.
I still fuck with it. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Strike one, caught you by surprise.
We going to the ship. We going to the ship. I
Come on, G, get up.
I just love Hardball.
Baby G.
Come on, G.
And then I'm gonna take last pick. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take The Blind Side. It's good. I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's a good movie.
All right, let's take. Dex has chosen I, Tanya,
Space Jam
Hardball, Space Jam,
and The Blind Side.
and
You
The
seen
Blind
any
Side.
sports movies?
How many good movies were in that 4?
Tanya.
One good movie.
The Blind Side is good. Yeah,
The
we got to
Blind
be
Side
honest about this.
Stinks, bro.
We got to be honest about this.
In retrospect, Blindside is 1, hella problematic, but 2,
True.
it's
And-
fine.
And
we
one of
gotta
these
be
days,
honest about this. Sandra
one of these
Bullock is
days-
in her bag, bro. It is what it is.
Look, Milk Merchant, the thing with
we're going to be honest about Sandra Bullock on this podcast. It's not going to be today, but one of these days, we're going to have a very honest discussion about Sandra Bullock's abilities.
Bro,
Oh.
I love Sandra Bullock. I love Sandy as much as the next guy, but like
If I'm the next guy, it's not very much. She does nothing for me as an actress or as a looker. Nothing. Like,
But
literally nothing.
we will have to say that her look in that film is right up Dex's DMA.
That's true, and that's what's really happening here. And I just want to acknowledge that.
Right in his demographic.
you know, I
Y'all-
will admit to lusting for Sandra Bullock, and I will not be shamed.
Y'all left.
I will
me,
not be silenced. The Blind Side bangs. Fuck you.
Y'all
guys.
left me the greatest film of all time again. I can't believe this draft.
The greatest film of all time?
The greatest sports film of all time. Literally the greatest sports film of all time. It's Hoop Dreams. I'm taking Hoop Dreams. That's the greatest sports film of all time.
I was not going to take Hoop Dreams. I'm going to take a one
Wait,
that
shit, it's not my turn. I'm sorry.
No,
Don't
I mean,
Hoop
you can
Dreams.
take Hoop Dreams. I'm not going to take it.
Thank you.
It's also another film that I just think it's one of the most brilliant. I think it's one of the most brilliant filmmaking movies in the last couple of decades. I love it. I've said this before and y'all got on to me. Moneyball makes you love baseball if you don't love baseball. And I
don't love baseball, but I love Moneyball. It's great.
so it's like, why would you care about the finances and the analytics of baseball when you don't even like baseball? Because it's so compelling. And
everybody loves an underdog story. It's just an underdog story.
It's an underdog story, and I think it's perfectly acted. I think it's pitch perfect performances from everybody, and I think that director, I'm gonna mispronounce. He's only done like 3 movies, which is crazy. Sorry, I gotta look up his name now. It is Bennett Miller. I think it's a perfect film. I think that film is incredible. But that's also because I have a unattainable love for baseball and what baseball means to the country. But
that's the whitest name of all time, Bennett Miller. First of all, Moneyball.
I would argue Royden Ogletree is.
Touche.
I would argue that.
Also, Billy Bean is up there as well.
That's white.
Moneyball's great. I'm not a baseball fan. I'm well known for being a baseball hater. Moneyball's great. I could put that movie on anytime and enjoy it. It's very well acted, and they definitely make it very easy for you to understand as somebody who doesn't understand baseball statistics and VORP or whatever the hell WAR or
Yeah.
whatever the hell the baseball stats
On
are.
base percentage.
Yeah, none of that shit matters. This movie is just underdogs running back. So great choice. And also, your movie was better than all of Dex's movies. I'm going Hoop Dreams. Hoop Dreams is. I bet you a lot of people watching this podcast or listening to this podcast have never seen Hoop Dreams. I implore you to watch Hoop Dreams. It is the boiled down perfect version of sport. It's about these kids who they started tracking early on, and you're literally watching them as they try to attain success and go to the NBA. But it's a documentary. I love documentaries, so it speaks my language already. You start hanging out with these kids very early on, and you go through their high school and their college, and it is the most fascinating look about not just basketball or not just like what it means to have a dream, but it's the most fascinating look about just what it means. Like it's basically a story about the American dream. Like these kids are poor. These kids don't come from the best neighborhoods. They are trying to make it. They obviously have talent because the directors have to identify talent at an early age because you want to follow people who might get there. You're not just going to pick two random kids. So they had to follow people who kind of had a little bit of buzz as young kids. And to just see kind of the family dynamics and the way that things work out, it is not the easiest thing to watch once you get to the end of the movie, but it is so fascinating. Every time I watch it, I'm just sucked in by it. Watch Hoop Dreams if you have not watched Hoop Dreams. You don't have to be a basketball fan to like Hoop Dreams. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
This has incredible ratings. I don't know how I've never seen this.
Oh my God, you have to watch Hoop Dreams.
94 to 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, 93 audience score, 98 Metacritic, which is impossible.
Not just one of the best sports documentaries, one of the best documentaries ever. It's like it's so human. It's like you.
Roger
really
Ebert called it. Roger Ebert called it one of the best movies he's ever seen.
It's fascinating, man. It's you get really into these people, and literally you're rooting for these people to win, even despite the odds. You're rooting for these people to win, and it's such. They have.
Do they
so
all
much
go to the
access.
same high school?
No, I think at some point they do cross. At some point they do end up at the same place, but they weren't always at the same place. I don't remember if they start at different places or they begin at different places and they end up at the same place. But they know each other. These two dudes know each other, and they at some point play together. I think they do play together at the beginning, but it's heartbreaking, but it's
Arthur
really good.
Aggie?
Yep, Arthur
It's on
Agee.
HBO Max.
Agee.
So
Oh yeah,
It's on HBO Max. Check that shit out. You got 2 hours. That shit bangs. That shit is incredible.
I'm gonna be watching that.
HBO Max continues to run up the score on Netflix.
Bro.
So, any older listeners or anybody's gonna be screaming at us, raging bull, of course. Whatever. Fuck that guy. He beat his wife. Nobody cares.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
The Sandlot. I love the Sandlot.
It's hard to leave off. The Sandlot is incredible film.
Sandlot is Americana personified. Like,
Facts.
so I mean, Caddyshack, which give or take. Okay. Also, the most inaccurate. We're talking about inaccurate movies. Rudy.
Fuck that
shit
movie.
stinks.
Oh, really?
Fuck
Rudy stinks.
I have a soft spot in my heart. You're talking about dad movies. That is come here, son. Watch this.
That is a dad movie.
Is there enough sport to call Forrest Gump a sports movie?
No.
No.
Well, no. Yeah. He's an All-American at Alabama.
You want to talk about OP?
Marathons.
That dude literally did not get touched on those kickoff returns.
Didn't get tackled.
Bro, nobody was near him. That dude was smoking people, or he had the best blockers of all time. One of the two.
A League of Their Own is a great movie. It's a fantastic film.
Very good.
Friday Night Lights has somehow become underrated. The actual movie.
No, it hasn't.
Because the show is so much better that like
the
nobody
show
really
is
cares
so much
about
better
the
that we don't
movie.
care about that movie.
I will say one of the funnier movies of all time, and it parodies sports so well. Major League. Have y'all seen Major
Charlie
League?
Sheen. Of course, I've seen Major League.
Oh,
that's Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that's the Charlie Sheen one. Yeah.
Y'all said Hoosiers sucks. Okay.
That's it stinks.
And
so does what is the one with the all white team, Kentucky team. What is that one?
I have
forgot
no.
that
Do y'all like Glory Road?
Is that what it is? I think it is Glory Road.
No, Glory Road's
Glory
about the black West Texas
Western,
team,
yeah.
but they play an
I'm
all
tripping.
white Kentucky
Yeah,
team.
Glory Road's good. Glory Road's good. I remember that one.
Yeah, I like Glory Road. That was one of the ones we had
It's
on
a
DVD. at my
DVD
high
card,
school.
yeah.
Anybody? Also, The Water Boy. I wasn't gonna choose it, but I love The Water Boy as a kid. I still love that shit to this day. The Water Boy's great.
Remember, kids, don't smoke crack.
The Longest Yard, hilarious.
Hilarious. Any Given Sunday, which I don't like, but people love, but I don't like it.
This is mine, and this will always be mine. This will make me cry every single time that I watch this scene. And I don't know if y'all will understand it, but Field of Dreams, Dad, would you want to have a catch?
If you build it, they will come.
Is tear jerking to me. I don't know. Every single time I watch that, I'm like, I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry.
We have to say Jerry Maguire, even though I'm not as high on it as most people.
Yeah.
Shout out to the meme going around, Coach Carter.
Oh, yes.
Coach Carter's fun, man. That movie's fun.
I don't hate it. Also, I'm going to say Sunset Park, which nobody has seen. Amazing sports movie.
This list has Cool Runnings.
Oh,
Also
yeah,
a
shout
great movie.
out.
Feel the rhythm. White Men Can't Jump.
That's one that we should probably be ashamed of leaving off. White Man Can't Jump is one of the best sports movies of all time.
The Game Plan.
Also, a movie that kind of gets overlooked all the time, but it just was a great movie back in 2010. Incredible Oscars year. We've talked about it before, but The Fighter.
Ooh, wait. That was in 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. Mark
Christian Bale's
Wahlberg.
the king.
We don't have to talk about Mark Wahlberg, but Christian Bale
Yeah,
was
let's
great.
not.
Speaking of Christian Bale, Ford v Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yep. Also known as one of the widest films of all time.
That's the whitest film I've ever seen, but that shit bangs. That shit is so
That
much
shit is
fun.
so good.
Happy Gilmore.
Great film.
And of course, Glory Road. You don't like Seabiscuit.
Bro, it's about a horse.
I love
What are we
Seabiscuit.
doing?
I like Seabiscuit.
People loved that shit. And I was like, I just can't. There's no. You
Nominated
can't
for several Oscars.
It didn't pull out my heartstrings. It's about a horse. And it's got Jeff Bridges in it. I love Jeff Bridges. It did nothing for me.
It's the most like normal Jeff Bridges performance, just like normal guy Jeff Bridges performance ever. All right. So that has been One Take Podcast. You can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram. That's the number One Take Pod on all that. Dex, what are we doing? Tell them where you can find some merch. Who are we supporting?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. As always, we are getting so close to Black Widow. I am so fucking excited for Florence Pugh to
So
take up
close.
the MCU. The MC Pew is coming. We are almost here.
Pew.
MC Pew.
The
Wow.
MC Pew. We are
That's
almost
amazing.
here.
Pew pew.
And then, as always, go to apollohou.com to buy
it.
the dopest Houston merch you've ever seen in your life. We're all from Houston. This is an all Houston podcast now. Support Houston, support Apollo Media. They're doing good work. We're doing good work. It's just a good time. It's like all of those sports media sites that you like, except we're actual cool people who don't hate women. So
What's the promo code that they can use?
use promo code OneTakePod, ONETAKEPOD for 10% off all of your Houston or Apollo Media merch, including the brand new Cried Kid Summer t-shirt, which is amazing. Check it out.
All right. It's ApolloHOU.com. Thank you so much to all the people that have been rating us. Teej, the person that you said that found us on accident. I think they probably gave us a rating. Please
is
continue to do
working.
that. I really, really appreciate that. We've bumped up our following a little bit, and I really, really appreciate y'all doing that. But go, if you have iTunes, if you have an iPhone, you have the podcast app, go just rate us 5 stars. Give us a written review if you feel so led to. I really appreciate that. Follow us on Spotify as well. We also are on Google Podcasts as well. So, and also you can find all of our backlog at Apollo HOU. So thank you so much to everyone listening. Also, the MCPU, they dropped an incredible amount of shit over the weekend.
They are feeding the
week.
streets, bro. They
moved
giving us
Loki up
so
2 days.
much.
They moved Loki up 2 days.
They're like, all right, pigs, hogs, come get the slop.
We got to see some Eternals. It's lit.
Yeah. All right. So that is One Take Podcast. We're out.